teacher at Piscataway High School caught TLO and a companion smoking in the bathroom, which was a violation of school rules. Cigarettes were allowed at school, but students were not allowed to smoke inside the school.
The teacher took them to see the vice principal, but TLO insisted that she was not smoking. The principal demanded to search her purse and discovered cigarettes and rolling papers, prompting him to search her bag further. He found marijuana, large amounts of money, and a list of people who owed TLO money. This indicated that she had been dealing marijuana. TLO confessed to dealing marijuana and had to go to court against the school, which was
In the juvenile court, she was found delinquent and sentenced to 1 year probation. In the state court system, they said that the Fourth Amendment right was not violated and did not find her delinquent. They sent the case back to the juvenile court to decide if TLO was given her Miranda rights before her confession. The New Jersey Supreme Court said that the Fourth Amendment did apply to school officials and that schools can conduct a warrantless search of a student if they have reasonable grounds that illegal activity is going on. However, the conduct was not reasonable since cigarettes did not violate school rules at that time. In the Supreme Court, New Jersey argued that school officials act for the parents of students and therefore do not need a warrant for search and seizure since they have broad powers to control student conduct. They said TLO's behavior gave reasonable base for search and seizure, so the exclusionary rule does not apply. Before the Supreme Court, TLO argued that public school officials are employees of the state and have no right to act as parents. In addition, they must respect students' rights, including the right to privacy. She said the search and seizure of her belongings was unreasonable, which led to her confession, so the exclusionary rule applies.
the constitutional issue was, do students in schools have the same rights under the Fourth Amendment as adults? Does probable cause have to be established for the search of a student in school, or is reasonable cause enough? The Supreme Court vote was 6-3 against TLO. The majority opinion was that the vice principal had reasonable cause to suspect that a school rule had been broken, and since she denied it, she had good reason to search her bag. In his search for cigarettes, he found drug paraphernalia. In his search for cigarettes, he found drug evidence, which is reasonable grounds for a more in-depth search. This meant that the school did not violate any of TLO's rights since they had very reasonable grounds to believe she had drugs. The school was well within its rights to continue searching her bag, since evidence of drugs, including cigarettes, was clearly visible.
The impact of the case is still noticeable today because it influences many students' rights to privacy, as well as the rights of school officials to maintain order and discipline.